Professor Warren Barr here from the Charity Law and Policy Unit. Just my introduction to my contribution to the Debates in Charity Law book, which is Social Housing, Charities and Vulnerable Groups. Hello, everyone. Obviously, the title of the chapter suggests that this is about social housing, and that's true. So what I've tried to do in this contribution to the book is use how charities deal with particularly vulnerable groups in relation to social housing. I'll examine that within the context of a research project that I did a good number of years ago, which dealt with the technical detail of how charities were involved in protecting the vulnerable. And so largely it's a scoping piece which looks at the role charities used to play in relation to social housing, the changes in the social housing environment, all of which I'm afraid are challenging for all providers, and the nature of social housing provision, looking again at what charities do on the ground on a daily basis in relation to housing. And you'll see that, like it was 10 or 15 years ago, it's a very complex picture. It goes from everything from actually providing the housing and being housing owners to simply provide, well, I say simply, but to providing services for people in housing associations, particularly, say, supporting services that they otherwise would not be available to these people to be able to let them lead normal and fulfilling lives. But what the chapter looks at as well as that are the barriers that exist to effectively dealing with social housing, and a lot of those are well beyond charities' control to address. And in fact, there's been a huge cross-party study, which was commissioned through Shelter, which published its findings in January 2019, which suggests that we need a complete overhaul of the social housing sector to essentially put it on a par in social thinking with the contribution of the NHS. And of course, at the time of recording this, we're all too painfully aware of the importance of the NHS and also of the impact that a lack of effective housing has on people as we are in our social restrictions and we begin to see news on people who are confined in small and unsuitable spaces or have been taken off the streets, who are homeless and have found themselves back out again. But that's an entirely different story, and one that's not covered in the chapter of the book. So back to the book itself, it examines that. It also examines the particular additional challenges, if you like, that charities face because of charity law and because of the way in which they operate in dealing with vulnerable groups and others. And then it tries to draw this all together and give a conclusion. And yeah, I don't really want to give the conclusion away, but I mean, there's no secret to it. Self-evidently charities play and should continue to play an important role. But through an examination, what the chapter really concludes is that actually, apart from that provision, which can be done by charities, can be done by other groups, and in fact should be, where charity strength really lies is in, as an example, the Shelter Commission report that I've just talked about, in their ability to mobilise and advocate that facility of charities, which is often forgotten and was forgotten in things like Big Society and the Third Way, those initiatives of years past and governments past, is that galvanising concept, that ability to bring people together and push for real change. And I think that that really is where charities have the most major role to play in social housing. And therefore that fits within the fabric of a lot of what's discussed in this book. So as I said, I hope you find it an informative and also interesting read. I would challenge you to find it an enjoyable read, if only because the subject matter is relatively grim, in the sense that the social housing sector is not in a strong position at the moment in the UK, at least, and probably across the world, but actually in the UK it has dropped back to a sector of last resort and is horribly underfunded, horribly undervalued, and there are real possibilities to improve it, and hopefully in our new world that this will be something that is addressed. My apologies for the camera shake. It's just one of those things in our COVID-19 coping from home environment. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope you enjoyed this talk, and I hope you enjoy the book, my chapter, but all the other superb contributions in this excellent volume. And I should say that it has been a pleasure to be involved. It's a pleasure to be included with such incredible authors as those in the book. And I'll leave you with our slide, for further information on the book and on other situations. If you want to contact me in relation to the book or in relation to anything on the Kapoo channel, please do so. My email address is on the slide, the YouTube channel through which you've hopefully picked this up, and also our social media handle @live_CLPU. Thank you very, very much.